Now look at the scope. We have the structure. The structure of a book is different from its scope. The structure talks about the various mix-ups. The scope covers where it talks about where it has covered. Like a book is written to cover some area. But the scope, the structure tells you that section A is this, section B is this section. It gives you the various stratified structures. Sometimes they will follow sequentially or that kind of thing. But the scope tells you the wider coverage where it is covering from A to B. So here, the Imdg code covers, among other things, the following subjects: classification, like I told you earlier on; identification, that's the description; list of dangerous goods that are supposed to be found here; labeling, how to label them so that they can depict or they can easily attract people for them to know that, look, these are dangerous goods. Then we have the shipping documents, how it is packaged, container traffic, and then storage with particular reference to the segregation of incompatible substances. So, how did the Imdg evolve? So, Imdg evolution. This code has undergone so many changes, both in layout and content, in order to keep a pace with the expansion and progress of the industry, and to achieve and maintain a level of harmonization between the Imdg code, the UN recommendations on the transport of dangerous goods, and the regulation of the other transport modes according to ADN, ADR, ICAO, Technical Associations, and RID. Now, when we talk about the RID, we are talking about the regulations covering the rail. We talk about ADR, we talk about the road. The ADN, inland waterways, and ICAO talk about CAO, and ICAO talk about air. What we are trying to say here about the evolution is that there are a lot of changes that normally come with the turn of events. There can be a lot of new discoveries, new changes. So day in, day out, there are a lot of evolutions. Things are changing. So there's the need to expand the scope and also to put in certain things so that it can be in tune with the test of time. For example, since July 1, 1992, the Imdg code also comprised regulations for the carriage of harmful substances referred to as marine pollutants. These are based on the regulations of Annex 3 of the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, 1973, as modified by the Protocol of 1978 to bracket MAPO 7378, which deals with the prevention of pollution by harmful substances carried by sea in package form. Annex 3 is referred to the Imdg code here. Then the MSC, which is the Maritime Safety Committee, adopted on the 23rd of May 2000 an amendment, that is 30.00, to the Imdg code, which comprises the first full revision in Reformation style. This amendment entered into force on January 1st, 2002, and in May 2004, the MSC adopted Amendment 3204, which entered into force from January 1st, 2006. At its will, governments might have applied this amendment from January 2005. So this in a nutshell is trying to tell you the various changes that might have been, made and accepted and which are being applied by the various countries and member states which have signed to the treaty. Look at the structure of the Imdg code, which is consistent with that of the UN Model Regulation. The Imdg code contains 7 parts subdivided into chapters, sections, and subsections, and 2 appendices and an alphabetical index. The title of the 7 parts are General Provisions, Classification, Dangerous Goods List, and Limited Quantities Exceptions. Limited quantity exceptions are those that are insignificant and they are not, sometimes not recognized. They don't take cognizance of them. They are taken in limited quantities. I mean dangerous goods. What are the list of those items? That's what you find there. Packing and tank provisions. When you want to load, which tank do you use? Does the tank meet the test of the UN promotion or the UN test? Sometimes some containers will have to be sent to a certain height and released onto the ground to see whether they are actually strong to carry the substance they are going to load into them. So that's why we talk about packing and tank provisions. Then consignment procedures. How do they go about it? Packing it, construction and testing of packaging, intermediate bulk tank containers, IBCs, large packagings, portable tanks and road tanks vehicles, and provisions concerning the transport operations.